9 seconds left. Smith with a fall. At 2:57 of the second period, Smith with a fall. The last exhibition match of the evening, Port Allegheny's Aiden Bliss will face Bradford's Cody Alcott, I believe. Okay, we're back. Bliss with a takedown, looking to run bundles. Bliss looking to finish it. Steps across. There's a fall. 28 seconds, Aiden Bliss. That concludes the junior high match. Ladies and gentlemen, we will return in about a half hour, I'd say 20 minutes, for the varsity match between Bradford and Port Allegheny. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back live. Like I stated before, the match is going to start at 106, which is an uncontested weight class. At 113, Port Allegheny will send out senior Kai Stauffer. He'll face a freshman from Bradford, Angel Dominguez Santiago, who is 6-15. At 120, Christian Rothamel, a sophomore with a record of 2-7, will face Devin Poe, a senior with a record of 21-7. At 126, senior from Port Allegheny, Chase Weimer, 21-9, is set to receive a forfeit. At 132, Kelvin Burgess, a freshman at 3-4, is set to receive a forfeit. At 138, a sophomore, Peyton Stiles, with a record of 11-11, is set to receive a forfeit. And at 145, Ian Dinda, 13-12, set to wrestle Brett Thompson, a senior, 21-3. At 152, Dayton Sherwood, a junior at 9-15 record, or Mason Gordon, a freshman at 5-3, set to receive a forfeit. At the present time, they'll have the national anthem. Okay, continuing on, 160, Bradford sends out a junior, Lucas Lackdash, with a record of 24-3, or Cassius Rissmiller, a junior with a record of 11-11. At 172, Port Allegheny sends out a junior, Gavin Burgess, record of 9-10, or Logan Holbert, a sophomore, record of 5-12, scheduled to receive a forfeit. At 189, Yuso Young, a freshman with a record of 15-9, is set to wrestle either Joe Carey, a freshman with a record of 5-10, or Chris Rodriguez, a senior with a record of 14-10. At 215, sophomore from Port Allegheny, Miska Young, 21-7, is set to receive a forfeit. And at 285, freshman Carson Neely, a record of 3-9, goes against Chase Gray, a junior with a record of 5-15. Again, I look for some of the forfeits to be contested, as in a lot of weight classes, there was two wrestlers weighed in by the opposing team, easily could bump one up, like 160. One could bump up to 172 for Bradford. At 152, one could bump up to 160 for Port Allegheny. And then at 189, with two wrestling in, one could bump up to 215. Anxious to see how the coaches come about and what they do.
At 215, wrestling for Port Allegheny, Miska Young. And at 285, wrestling for Bradford, Chase Gray. And for Port Allegheny, Carson Neely. Please enjoy the match.
Okay, captain's out for the coin toss. Simple coin toss here. You don't get to call it. It's not like you're in the NFL. The official just flips and says, look, this is red, this is green. Home team's green. If it ends on green, green will have the choice. As it happened, Port Allegheny has the choice, and they get to pick odd or even matches. And with the weight classes going back to 13 weight classes instead of 14, a lot easier to pick the odd matches to get more choice, or you would always want to pick as a coach. I did as a coach. I would always want to pick and have the choice in the tougher matches of the contest. Okay, 113, we get underway with Kai Stauffer, a senior, and he will face Angel Dominguez Santiago, a freshman. Set to begin. Stauffer quickly in on a low double. Stauffer gets his 2. Santiago up. Stauffer returns him back down. Stauffer now with a bar. Has a cross wrist. Stauffer working a reinforced bar in. Dominguez Santiago up. Stauffer returns him back down on the mat, out of bounds. Back to the center. Dominguez Santiago goes. He's in a down position. Stauffer covers. Caution on Dominguez Santiago. His first. That's a warning. Stauffer with an arm chop. Dominguez now up. Stauffer returns him to the mat. Stauffer returns Dominguez Santiago back to the mat. 40 seconds left. Seconds left. Stauffer looking to run a power half, has both legs in. Stauffer burying the head, readjusting on the hips. Has Dominguez Santiago to his back. Loses the legs, comes back out front. 7 seconds left. Santiago fights off his back. That's the end of the first period with Stauffer up 5-0. Santiago up. Stauffer looks to return him with a front trip. Stauffer again working a power half. Now comes back to the near side with a half. Dominguez Santiago to his back. Stauffer looking to pick up possibly 2 or 3, depends on the count. Stauffer with 3 back points. That's a count of 5. Stauffer brings Dominguez Santiago back to the mat. Up 8-0. 1 minute left. Port Allegheny coached by Brad Greenman, or BJ Greenman, assisted by Chad Saltzman, also assisted by Adam Greenman, Nick Budd, and Nate Schwab. Again, Stauffer looking for back points. Stauffer has a head inside looking for a bottom leg cradle. Stauffer looks to cradle Santiago Rodriguez. Rodriguez with hand control. Both wrestlers called out of bounds with 8 seconds left. Stauffer up 8-0. Dominguez Santiago up. Stauffer returns him to the mat. That'll end the second period with Kai Stauffer up 3-0, and his choice, Stauffer chooses down. Dominguez Santiago covers. Stauffer looks back for a switch, somehow gets to the leg. Dominguez Santiago with a crossface. Dominguez Santiago looks for a cradle. Stauffer bellies out. Stauffer up with a stand. Dominguez Stauffer with a switch attempt. Still controlled by Dominguez Santiago. Now Stauffer steps over. Has a cradle locked up. He adds 2. Looking to get more back points. Possibly the fall. Fall for Kai Stauffer at 2 minutes and 56 seconds in the match. Port Allegany up 6-0. Now wrestling at 120. Christian Rothamel. Christian Rothamel from Port Allegany will receive a forfeit. Bradford bumps up Devin Poe, a senior with a record of 21-7. He'll face Chase Weimer at 126 of Port Allegany. Chase, a senior with a record of 21-9. Should be a good match. That's why, you viewers listening, that's why I said a tentative forfeit. This time of year, coaches look to get the good matches. Poe in with a double leg. Poe gets 2. Devin Poe up 2-0 over Weimer. Weimer looks to clear the leg. Poe turns him. Weimer looking to come out the back door. Weimer now with a whizzer and a leg. Looking to turn into Poe. Poe still in control. Poe still in control. Towards the other match. Now, Weimer should be out for 1. He's given the 1 point at the edge of the match. 2-1, the score in favor of Bradford's Devin Poe. The score is 2-1. Both men into a collar tie. Weimer wrestling from his knees, reaches for a single. Poe in again on a low single into a double. Weimer with his hips back, pressuring ahead, looking to get around to get 2. Both men squared up now, still neutral. Weimer with a go behind, up 3-2 with a takedown. Weimer now looking to run a bar. He has a reinforced bar in. Weimer looks to stack it. Now he looks to run it. Weimer steps over the head, has Poe in trouble. Poe giving up back points. Weimer looking to sit with it. Weimer should have at least 3 back points. 5 seconds left. Weimer still has the same move. Now Weimer up, getting 3 back points at the end of the match. Weimer now up 6-2. Weimer with choice. He deferred to the Bradford wrestler, Devin Poe. Poe's choice. Poe to take the bottom position. Weimer covers from the right-hand side, which is usually unusual. Most wrestlers are taught to ride from the left. Poe up. Right now, Poe with a reversal, making a score 6-3. Weimer quickly comes back, looks to step over the ankle, pressuring the head of Poe. Looks to step over the ankle. Poe still on the ankle. Poe still hanging on the ankle. Weimer now out for 1 as Poe releases him. 7-4. Poe in again on another ankle pick. Weimer fights that off. Now Poe in an outside single. Weimer looks to lock up a cradle. Referee calls a stalemate. We go neutral. Poe attacking awful quick and low as soon as the whistle blows. Poe looks to shoot within 2 or 3 seconds. Low on Weimer. Weimer's going to have to adjust his stance and get ready to move on that. 7-4. Poe again in. Poe again in on a low single. Switches to a double. Poe pops his head. He'll get 2. Poe gets 2. 7-6. Going into the third period. 14 seconds left. Weimer looking to get height. Weimer looks for a headlock. He gets a headlock. Has Poe turned to his back. Weimer getting back points. Readjusts. Time runs out. Weimer gets 2 and 3 in the last 15 seconds of the match to prove his lead from 7-6 to 12-6. Weimer up 6 points. Weimer now in a down position to start the third period. Weimer stands, looks on hand control. Poe looking to return him. Poe working a claw ride. Weimer with hand control. Weimer up, still working on hand control. Poe looking to return him. Weimer with a standing switch. Gets his 2 on the edge of the mat, making a score 14-6. Both wrestlers out of bounds with 1:26 left in the match. Weimer up 14-8. As of now, he's up by 8 points or more. That would be 14 points, which is considered a major decision. Again, Weimer with a wrist and a finger tilt, setting it up. Poe looks to come up. Weimer adjusts the tilt. Weimer now has a bar and a wrist. Lets the wrist go. Weimer now just with a bar. Weimer needs to reach up and get the far wrist that's on the mat. Weimer trying to work the reinforced bar in. Bar now gets the throws a half. Weimer looking to turn Poe. Poe not going over. Weimer readjust. Breaking the action as Poe headgear slides down. He'll get to readjust that with 23 seconds left. Weimer up 14-6. Weimer looking for a near side cradle. He has it. Looking to put his head in the side. Steps over the ankle. Looks to walk it over. Weimer has Poe on his back. Weimer should get 2 back points, waiting on an official to give it. Weimer gets 2 back points at the end of the match to make the score 16-6 in favor of the Port Allegany senior. Over the senior Devin Poe from Bradford. Weimer with a major decision, 16-6, making a team score now 16-0 in favor of Port Allegany. At 132, Port Allegany's Calvin Burgess receives a forfeit, making the score now 22-0. Peyton Stiles at 138, a sophomore record 11-11, will receive a forfeit, making the score 28-0 Port Allegany. Now at 145, it'll be Ian Dinda versus Brett Thompson. Thompson, a senior with a record of 21-3. Dinda, a senior with a record of 13-12. Thompson in on a fireman's dump. Dinda fights it off, both men now. Thompson again on a single. Looks to circle with it. Dinda with a front three-quarter counter. Both men go out of bounds. Thompson with a collar tie. Dinda with the start of a ball back grip. Dinda now comes up into a collar tie. Both men on the center of the on the edge of the mat. Both men out. 1:02 left in the first period. Still tied 0-0. Both men tie again. Thompson in on a single again. Dinda, heavy hips, pressuring the head down, looking to dig out the elbows. Pointing the toes, they're out of bounds. Okay, we're back. 18 seconds left. Thompson in on a low single. Dinda looks to counter, coming over the back. Thompson looks to sit. Thompson now has both legs. Thompson gets 2 with 6 seconds left. Into the first period with Bradford's Brett Thompson up 2-0 over Ian Dinda. Thompson with a record of 21-3. Dinda with a record of 13-12. Both seniors. Thompson chooses down, looks for a switch. Dinda with a tight waist arm chop brings Thompson back down flat. Thompson again looking a knee slide up. Dinda rolls the wrist under. Dinda with a tight waist. Now it looks for an ankle. Looks to drive it across. Thompson looks to switch. Thompson has a switch. Thompson up 4-0. Dinda now belly down. Thompson has a wrist and a half. One minute left in the second period. Thompson with tight waist, attempting to chop the arm. Now Thompson comes cross wrist, now back with a tight waist and a near chop. Thompson looking to work a leg again. Brings it back. Thompson tight waist chop. 10 seconds left. That's the end of the second period with the score. Bradford's Brett Thompson up 4-0 over Ian Dinda. Dinda's choice for the third period. Dinda picks neutral. Thompson right away in on a double. Dinda with attempted throw. Thompson counters both men back to their feet in neutral. Thompson again in and on a high-low single, coming over the head, looking for a cradle. Thompson gets two on the edge of the mat. They're out of bounds with 1:35 left in the third period. Thompson again breaks it down on the mat. Dinda back up to the referee's position. Thompson breaks Dinda back down. Dinda flattened out. Thompson reaches across for a cross wrist. Dinda warned for stalling. 20 seconds left. Thompson will win the match 6-0. Thompson of Bradford, a senior, moves his record to 22-3 on the year, with a 6-0 decision over Ian Dinda, making the score 28-3 in favor of Port Allegany. At 1:52, Dayton Sherwood is set to receive a forfeit. Sherwood with a forfeit. making the score 34-3. Now at 160, out comes freshman for Port Allegany, Mason Gordon, with a record of 5-3. He will face Cassius Rismiller, a junior with a record of 11-11. Gordon up from 52-60, facing Rismiller. Gordon in on a double. Rismiller sprawls, looking to dig the nose out. Gordon looks to take it over the head. Rismiller still with a good crossface. Gordon onto the two for Rismiller. Rismiller up 2-0 with 1:17 left. Rismiller looking for a far side cradle. Gordon up into a stand. Rismiller looks to turn Gordon, has Gordon on his back. Rismiller looking to tee off. Settles back in with a reverse half and gets the fall at 1:19 of the first period. Cassius Rismiller with a fall, running a team score to 34-9. Bradford now will send out Lucas Lactash, a junior with a record of 24-3. He'll face Port Allegany's Gavin Burgess, also a junior, with a record of 9-10. Lactash and Burgess. Both men in the collar ties. Head-to-head tie by both men. Lactash in on a single, switches to a double, steps through, gets his two. Lactash with a takedown at the 1:20 mark of the first period, up 2-0. Lactash with a stack. Lactash now into a cradle. Burgess out. 3 back points Lactash after the stack. Both men on the side of the mat. Lactash works in a reinforced bar. Lactash again to stack. Lactash with a fall at 1:19 of the first period, bringing a score to 34-15 in favor of Port Allegany. Now at 189, Yuso Young, a freshman with a record of 15-9, will face, I believe, possibly Chris Rodriguez. Yes, it's Chris Rodriguez. Both men in the center mat. Young comes into a collar tie. We've got a break in the action. Got to wait for the clock to get set back. Okay, now we're back. The 5 or 6 seconds that went off is considered dead time. So everything starts back out at 2 minutes. Young with a nice ankle pick for 2. Young right into an inside bar. Young now with a bar in, looking for the far wrist or an underhook on the opposite side. Young pressuring forward. Young now with a 2-on-1, looks to roll it under. Young breaks Rodriguez down to his belly. Young again still with the 1-on-1. Young looking for a power half. Young now with a power half. Lets it go. Runs across face. Looking to set up bundles. Young out to the front. Steps back across. Young now with a cross arm ankle. Young now again lowers and adjusts into a bundles. Looking to run it over his head. Young slowly taking his time. 14 seconds. Young. Six seconds. Young now comes into a time runs out as Young was coming in to a headlock. Choice now with Rodriguez. Rodriguez chooses down. Yuso Young with a 2-0 lead going into the second period. Young again with a claw ride, looking to spiral down Rodriguez. Young now has a cross elbow. Steps into Turk, drives it over. Young can go straight into bundles from there. Young now has Rodriguez to his back. No back points as Rodriguez rolled through. Young now working a power half. Young getting to the side with a power half. Has a power half deep to the elbow. Looking to turn. Loses his leverage. Young back and cover with a wrist. Young now with a cross wrist. We're looking for a cross face cradle. .40 seconds left. Yuso Young now with a gable bar, put it into a hammer lock. Needs to lower his chest to drive across. And there it is. Has Rodriguez on his back. Referee holding 2. Rodriguez on his back. Young looking to sit into a headlock. 7 seconds left. Young does have the headlock on. Time runs out. Young to be awarded 3 back points for a 5-0 lead. And his choice in the third period, Yuso Young goes down. Yuso down the set. Rodriguez covers Yuso with a switch. Re-switched by Rodriguez. Now Yuso circles out. Rodriguez still in control. Young with a double right to his back. Young has Rodriguez on his back with a half Nelson. Reverses his half. Young with a fall at 4 minutes and 22 seconds of the match. Port Allegheny gets another 6 points to go up 40-15. Joe Carey, a freshman from Bradford with a record of 5-10, comes out to wrestle Port Allegheny's Miska Young, a sophomore with a record of 21-7 at 2:15. Young looking to set up a throw here. Waiting for Carey to push in. Young pushing. Carey backs out. Two matches left to be contested. This one at 2:15 and at 2:85. Young in on a low single. Up to his knees, looks to stand with it. Young steps through. Carey counters. Young keeps driving. Young has two as he switches to a double to go up 2-0 with 45 seconds left in the first period. Young now with the wrist rolled under, looking to roll both wrists under. Young now throws in a half. Young back with an arm chop. Carey looking to set up a Peterson. Young counters and spins behind. Carey with his attempted roll, countered by Young. Young again works a 2-on-1 this time on the near side. Young driving forward, 3 seconds left in the match and the first period. And that's time. It'll be Young's choice. Young defers. Choice goes to Carey. Carey chooses down. Young with an ankle pick brings Carey back down. Young with a wrist and a Young has a bar in her wrist. Young has Carey over on his back. Young needs to readjust. Plenty of time. Young readjusts. Young with a fall at 2:29 of the match to make the score Port Allegheny 46, Bradford 15. Now 285-pound class. Port Allegheny sends out freshman Carson Neely with a record of 3-9. And he'll go against Chase Gray, a junior with a record of 5-15. Neely and Gray. Both men pummeling. Before I forget, the cheerleaders for tonight's event are Madison Kotwitz, Sapphire Nichols, River Stuckey, Cheyenne Crow, Jeanette Nichols, Kaylin Bonowitz, Lily Babcock, and Jade Manchester. The Gator cheerleaders, and they're coached by Terry Austin. Both wrestlers out of bounds. Neely looks to work the underhook right into a throw. Has Gray in trouble. Plenty of time. Neely tees off. There's the fall. 50 seconds of the first period. Carson Neely victorious via fall to make the final team score. Port Allegheny 52, Bradford 15. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to try to stream the boys and girls junior high basketball game tomorrow I believe that starts at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you then. Thank you. Goodbye.